The trial over the state's new congressional map is underway at a federal courthouse in Charleston. The state NAACP filed suit earlier this year, weeks after lawmakers signed the map into law. News 19's Becky Buds has more on what's at stake in the trial.
In a federal court this week, lawyers for the South Carolina NAACP are arguing that the state's new congressional map discriminates against black voters and must be redrawn. That map decides which district you live in, and in turn, which race you can vote in to represent you in the U.S. Congress.
And what we're seeing in the map that has been passed in the General Assembly is one that does dilute the voting influence of black voters and other minority voters.
Lean Teague with the League of Women Voters joined Democrats like Senator Dick Harpootlian in objecting the map before it was passed by the General Assembly in January.
And they split counties, and they split precincts, and this plan does a real disservice to those of us who believe that things like counties ought to be kept whole.
Now a panel of 3 judges will hear arguments on whether it violates the 14th and 15th Amendments of the U.S. Constitution, which granted all citizens equal protection under the law and gave black men the right to vote.
The South Carolina NAACP claims lawmakers packed more black voters in the state's 6th congressional district, represented by a Democrat, Jim Clyburn. They also argue lawmakers unlawfully used race as their predominant factor in drawing the 1st, 2nd, and 5th district lines.
However, Republican lawmakers like Senator Josh Kimbrell, who supported the map, say keeping voters in the same district was one of the biggest considerations.
So we keep people familiar with where they're voting and what race they're voting in. I think those are important considerations, and that's certainly what factored in my vote.
A decision is expected after October 28th. Regardless of the decision, the challenge map will be used in this year's general election. Reporting in Columbia, Becky Buds, News 19 WLTX.